Welcome to FFC Top 3, a show where we, your FFC hosts, count things down from 3 to number 1. Thank you for joining us this week. If you have a suggestion for Top 3, you know where to drop us a note. Twitter, Discord, or at focusfirechat@gmail.com. This week, we're going to do something a little different. It is our top 3 useless facts that it's just one of those things. Like, I grew up with my family. I was that kid that just had all this dumb stuff that I would randomly spout off. Stuff about Lord of the Rings, stuff about rocks. It's just useless facts at that point. And so this week, kind of in honor of that, and because the Twitter poll dictated it, we're going to do our top 3 useless facts. And Blue, I'm going to make you start us off, sir.
All right, cool. Well, you know what? So I know that there has been a running joke. It's a running joke about something that is not a joke, but I'm going to go with the jokeful side of it. And we've been seeing a lot of conversations about the danger of feral pigs. I believe the number is about 30 to 50 is what a lot of people are concerned about. Which it's funny to me. Or feral hogs, yeah. Sorry, Wet Chinchillas in chat correcting me. It was kind of entertaining for me because I love useless facts about medieval times, like especially like history and stuff like that. And pigs were actually a really dangerous animal. Like pigs are actually very dangerous. If you've ever come in contact with pigs, either domesticated or hogs, feral, whatever, they actually are very dangerous. And it is actually a kind of a random factoid that in medieval times, they often would, there are often multiple accounts of pigs eating kids.
What?
Yeah, there are multiple accounts of pigs eating kids. Especially, I believe it's the 13th century. You started seeing a rise in lawsuits being filed. Which would commonly war pigs is what is going on in chat now, but you would see there was a kind of this weird thing where they would actually have a lawsuit against the pig, and it would result. Yeah, oh yeah, it's fun, but it would result in a death sentence of the pig. It was much more common around France, but there are a few in England that they're actually documented. It's really kind of a weird thing.
I'm sorry. A lawsuit against a pig.
Yeah, okay, so
how is the pig going to defend himself?
It wasn't
he's got a little suit and tie.
It wasn't so much. I'll have to look it up. There's a weird tradition around like 13th, 14th, even early as 12th century that there was like this rash of they would bring an animal or a beast, if you will, against it. And they would file a lawsuit against the X, and it was like basically a way to justify, especially if it's not theirs. Like if it was a child was eaten by a pig who was owned by another farmer, another rancher, they would file a lawsuit, and it was basically, it's basically them going, that thing ate my kid, and I want to kill it. But it's not mine. Can I have the permission to just kill it?
My goodness.
Yes, and Screwball nailed it. Yes, it is actually true. Pigs are known for eating anything. It's a common misnomer, or not a common misnomer, but it's a common statement to be wary of a man who has pigs. Because it's not just one. There's actually been multiple cases of pigs having been found, or a pig farm having been found to be, let's just say, a place for removal of evidence when it comes to serial killers.
Okay.
They digest quite well as well, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. When they get big, like if you've ever seen a pig, like they're not. It's not like the small potbelly pigs that everyone assumes. I
recall seeing them when I was 13 to 14 at my dad's farm when I went to visit him over east, and I was early teens, I thought I was king of the world, and I was scared of these pigs.
Oh my gosh.
God, they're huge. Like they're
Mhm.
massive. Like we grew up around them, and it's like, growing up, we'd always do the stupid thing of like getting in the pen and teasing them, and like there's just it was a common thing. Like every kid like that grew up in a similar situation, we all have stories. I've talked to guys who are generations older than me, who grew up in a similar similar area, and they have the same stories, and all of us are like, we don't really understand how we're still alive. Like looking back, we're like, we should have died. Like we should have died doing this. But like you would get in, like there was a lot of times you'd get into the pen, like they'd have the sty or whatever. You get in and you like scream at them and you'd chase them, and because pigs they're not very aggressive naturally, like unless it's a mom.
Unless they're very hungry.
Unless they're very hungry, yeah, then just stay out of their way. But like you'd chase them, and it was always funny because they'd hit the wall, and they'd turn around, and they're like, I mean, this is like a 400 or 500 pound animal, like it's a huge animal, and he turns around, and there's a group of kids, and it's like, what? No, come here. And it's just like, it just becomes a mad scramble to get out of the sty. And it's like, if you had tripped, you'd been dead. And it was a pig. You'd been gone. Like you would just, yeah. So
that is insane. And it reminds me, the state fair, the Kansas State Fair, has pig rides. That is a thing that happens. And pig races.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But oh my god.
And yeah, and so and one last thing that I do find hilarious was someone had a VR simulation of a hunting game where I guess they modded it so the pigs would chase them or something, and I was watching it and I'm sitting there and all I can think of is I'm like, oh, this idiot. You don't hunt pigs on the ground. You get in a tree and then like at the end of the video the pigs catch him and they like kill him. And I'm like, yeah. Because that's gonna happen. Like don't ever hunt pig or hogs or anything on the ground, because if they catch you, they will just rip you apart. So enjoy that useless fact.
Useless fact number 1 down. That is number 3. The smooth, low bass voice you heard earlier is a gentleman who is joining us on this evening's episode of Focus Fire Chat as well. It is AFracturedWinky, all the way from Western Australia. Sir, do you want to jump in on this craziness of top 3?
I don't have anything near as entertaining as that. But
no worries.
Honestly, the only thing that comes to mind as a useless fact is that the color orange is named after the fruit.
And has absolutely no rhyme.
Nope.
The fruit does, though.
No, not in English, anyway.
The fruit does.
The fruit has a rhyme?
Yeah. Never mind.
I'm going to be lost on that one. Okay, so my number 3 useless fact.
It's a play on the word Rhine.
I heard I'm just passing by and letting the pun go to death. And you still brought it back up. I try so hard and get so far to the end. It doesn't even matter.
Chat's like, oh, go away.
Yep. The groans have begun. My number 3 is also an animal-themed one, but it's not pigs. It is actually the etymology of the word gorilla. The word gorilla is a Greek origin word that means the tribe of hairy women. Just throwing that out there. So like in 1832.
Never mind.
So it is one of the most useless facts out there, but it is a Greek word. Gorillae, plural, a tribe of hairy women mentioned in an account of a voyage around Africa. So it is, so when you were talking about gorillas, you were talking about lots of hairy women. And actually in the account, if you look into the history of it, the actual account that they're talking about, they notice that the majority of I guess you would call them not necessarily a herd or a pack or anything like that. I can't think of the actual group term, but the majority of gorillas are in maternal packs, and they have generally like 1 silverback, maybe 2. So it's very female dominated. I don't know if that was necessarily the reason why they use the term gorilla, but there you go. Hairy women. So if you ever want to call a woman hairy, and be prepared to run because she's going to run at you with her arms flailed up in the air and just going to pummel you, you can call her a gorilla. And everybody knows it.
I'll pass on that.
Probably wise. Blue?
Another random medieval fact is that oh gosh, I feel like this is going to be a theme. Oh, this is a theme for me. Medieval people had piggy banks. So the term was pig, P-Y-G-G. It was actually a type of clay that they used to build jars and pots. And so you had pig jars for using to save coins, which then about the 18th century, they transferred into like pig banks or piggy banks. But yeah, medieval people actually, they had piggy banks just like we did.
You have very pig themed.
Yeah, apparently,
so far.
I'm literally flipping through. I have like random stuff, like notes that I have, and I'm just like flipping through it. I have landed on the 2 pig related trivia facts. So it's definitely kind of random that I've come up with these. I'll try to see if I can find a different one that's not pig based. I'm trying to see.
Not pig based.
Not pig based. Let me see if I can find one.
So
I've just found another reference to the animals are criminals.
Oh my gosh.
Examples. Mice having been publicly tried for stealing part of the harvest.
I just don't understand. I'm having a hard time with this a little bit. My number 2 is the fact that Mulan, the character in the Disney film, is the biggest murderer in all of Disney.
She is.
She has killed, not only is she the only female who has ever killed anybody on screen in Disney, but she has actually, by far, by a long ways, killed more people, because at the end of the film, she does that whole battle with the Huns, and she takes out 1,995 people with the avalanche and the fireworks, including the villain of the character, or the villain of the show.
Well, she doesn't take him out with the avalanche. Dredge and Yord lived through that.
Yeah, Shan Yu. But yes, Mulan is scary. If you really think about it, she definitely has the highest kill count out of everybody, though. So nice and simple. We get
Black Flag brings it up. She's also technically a war criminal.
Yes, also that. But let's get down to business and go to number 1.
Okay.
Slide that in there.
I have been formally requested by chat to make my number 1 about bacon. So,
oh no.
So, all right. I'm going to I did not have this one prepped, so if this is wrong, don't get me mad, or don't get mad at me. The random fact about bacon, drum roll, is it dates back to 1500 BCE. The Chinese the Chinese apparently were the first to cook pork more than 3,000 years ago.
But was it cured? Like,
salted pork bellies.
Okay.
It makes it officially. Belly. Oh no! This is why I don't do things like this. Mute the site. Sorry, I pull up random facts about bacon because I was requested to pull up a bacon fact. Oh
my goodness.
Yeah, number 1 is that it dates back to 1500 BCE. The Chinese were the first to cook salted pork bellies more than 3,000 years ago, and the interesting thing about that is that this makes bacon one of the world's oldest processed meats. Romans referred to it as patasso. It became patasso is boiling salted pig shoulder with figs and then seasoning the mixture with pepper sauce.
Pepper sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like black pepper bacon. That is the best bacon.
The first bacon factory was opened in 1770.
Interesting. So my number one is also sort of pig related. This is the pig top 3, by the way, apparently. I know the origin of where Hawaiian pizza came from. So the pineapple on pizza debate is going to be raised up here. And ironically, it's not a Hawaiian that you can blame. So my friends in Canada, I love you, but you are the people who created this like monstrosity. There is a location in Canada in Clatham, Ontario. The restaurant owner, Sam Panopoulos, was born in Greece but moved to Canada when he was 20 years old, and in 1962, he decided to put pineapple on pizza. So, sir, you have created the biggest food meme on the internet, and you probably don't even know it. It is insane, but Canada did it. I blame them. Viva la Canada. Anyway, nice and short top 3 this week. Kind of silly. I don't have any crazy facts about pineapple pizza beyond that, besides the fact that everybody in chat is angry about it.
I have a useless fact. It's delicious.
Yay! You enjoy pineapple on pizza? My wife does too. Julie loves it.
There's a bacon sculpture of Kevin Bacon.
How many times removed is it from Kevin Bacon, though?
No word on how well the bacon.
Oh my gosh.
No word on how well the bacon bust has held up.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh! 7 bottles of bacon bits, lots of glue, and 5 coats of lacquer to create the bust. Okay.
So it's like the ramen noodle repair thing.
Yeah, jeez. I put one in our chat too, as far like this is why I don't allow myself to go to trivia sites. It's because I'll just sit here and laugh myself into oblivion. Bringing home the bacon, the phrase. This will be my last one. So a lot of people refer to it making money, but it actually originates from 12th century England, where churches would award what was referred to as a flitch, or a side of bacon, to any married man who swore before God that he and his wife had not argued for a year and a day. Men who, quote, brought home the bacon, end quote, were seen as exemplary citizens and husbands.
Interesting.
So, it had to do with literally bringing home bacon. But it actually did not have anything to do with like
money,
monetary, work. It was actually we're a good family. We have not argued for a year and a day. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Interesting. So my and also kind of things is a jiffy. The term a jiffy is actually a real measurement of time. So it is the measurement of time it takes for light to travel 1 centimeter in a vacuum, which is way faster than anybody could do something. So if you say, I'll be back in a jiffy, you're not going to. You're a liar. You're not going to move if you're going to be back in a jiffy. But anyway, I think that is a wrap on this week's top 3. Nice and simple, nice and easy. I may have offended our guest with the pineapple pizza thing, but
no, I'm used to ignorance. It's okay.
That's okay. Well, I live in a divided house. She likes pineapple on pizza. She will buy a can of pineapple to put on her slices of pizza when we order pizza.
Do you not just do a half? Do they not do that over there?
They do. She just doesn't order it that way.
Yeah, I was about to say, that assumes that the person that's getting the half that doesn't have pineapple is not wanting the contaminated.
I don't. The thing is, I am not that, I'll eat pineapple on pizza. It's just not something that I crave. I will eat it. It's not something that is distasteful to me. It's just, I prefer not. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for top 3. We will see you next week with whatever you guys choose for us to do. So remember, everybody loves a list.